And hello everyone. I'm just doing a recap of sessions 2 and 3 of our Tikenside Dungeons and Dragons group. And so let's crack on. Sorry if it's dark, the bulb's are a bit. I'll try and get it a bit better. Okay, so I've got my notes here, sorry, just so I don't forget much, because the last session was last week. So anywho, so after talking to the dragon, if you remember, if you've seen the first episode, we got back to the city and we spoke to Valantis. I really can't remember his name. It keeps passed me by. And he spoke to us and said, right, I'll give you your next mission after you speak to the king, because, well, he looked at the gem we got him and then he said, show it to the king, because I don't know what it is. So we went to wait for the king and then we got into a bit of tomfoolery with the guard. I got kicked in the face. And then we went to speak to the king, and he was quite like an arrogant figure. He sat on the throne, he was quite relaxed, and there was the queen next to him, there's bards and wise men and guards all around him and whatnot. But he was armoured as well, he was wearing armour, so we knew, like, maybe he was worried for his safety or whatever, we don't really know. So, he spoke to us, and he was very demeaning, but everyone was fine with him, and then Mike went up and presented the gem. The queen looked at the gem, but we got away with it, and she said it's fine because we rolled. Mike bluffed that it was the gem they were after, but she was a bit suspicious. Oh yeah, and there was a giant. Oh sorry, there was a giant dragon behind them, a stone dragon with a red light. I think when the gem went on, or if there was red lights there already. I'm trying to fix the camera. So that was suspicious. So I think anyway, that might be the evil dragon. But anywho, so then Mike was re-enlisted as a brass knight because he was demoted, we found out. But that's why he's doing this, I think. But we're not too sure about much of his backstory yet because, well, we haven't really investigated each other's backstories much. Well, that's where side quests and stuff will come in, etc. So, the king rewarded Mike with his knighthood and 1,500 gold, same as Alex and Sean. Whereas I said, I don't want gold, I want the opportunity to speak with your bard, and learn some songs or learn some knowledge. So what he did was he said, you can either speak to the master bard or my, what's it called, advisor, my chief advisor, this old man. So I chose to speak to the advisor, who gave me a book of all his knowledge in the kingdom, which is really useful. And so we all left. And then so Mike, with re-enlisted, he decided he wanted to go spend his money and go to a very posh bar. Well, we all went, and then it was super expensive. And so we said, oh no, screw that, we're going somewhere else. And Mike stays, and he bought a 500 gold, this dragon blood wine or something, this golden syrup wine. He had a few drinks, then was conked out. And the barman took what was left because he said it's super expensive. Alex, Sean and I went to a bar a guard told us about. It turned out to be a brothel when we went in. And as we went in, I went and sat in the corner, and Sean could see there were cats by people, and so he wanted to go investigate, and it turns out there was these shapeshifters, people could become cats, and he went over to someone he'd never asked what sex or anything they were. He went over and said, why is the cat everywhere? And the cat morphed into a person. It was two men. So Sean went up to a male prostitute who was with his customer. Turned out he was a cat man. And he just kept talking. It was dead social awkward. It was really funny. Sean's been super funny throughout this whole thing. Just his one-liners have just been phenomenal. I can't re-enlist them, re-say them, because it wouldn't have the same effect. And there I am. Hello. So that happened. So anyway, we all got a drink, and then Sean passed out and went to bed, or Alex passed out, Sean went to bed, and then I decided, because I could speak in goblin or something, I spoke to a goblin and said, what's your cheapest sort of deal? And he said, well, we've got someone back there who's quite cheap. So I said, okay, I'll pay for them. I just said, all it is though, Sean, his character's Bellerin, Sean, Bellerin, my guy's Gerbo, Alex is Raven, Mike is Ferrandil, something like that. I'll remember next time. And so I said, the only thing is, he likes being asleep and then being surprised, that's his thing. So it's pretty much I'm setting up Sean's rape, unfortunately. And it turned out Joe rolled to see what the species of creature was that I bought. So it was a half ogre, a female half ogre. And so Sean, this half ogre, starts doing its things. Sean was trying to roll to wake up, but just rolled so badly that he ended up falling unconscious. He woke up for a second and fall unconscious. And then he woke up in the morning, obviously, to this half ogre, and then she was made up with him. And he told her to F off, essentially. And, yes, that was that. And in the morning, he was quite stiff and stuff, and we were laughing and joking, and Mike came up and met us, and we were like, yeah, alright. And he's like, oh, I got drugs. So it was just like a rough night for everyone. And so, we ended up finding out our quest, which was, we were going to, Old Shrine, this place south of the city, where all the shrines of the old gods were there, as well as we were sent to find out what was happening. We weren't really sure, but we had to go to Old Shrine. The trouble in Old Shrine, I think we got mission details, but I can't really remember them. And so we get to Old Shrine, and on the way we had to walk the last leg of the journey, and there was all these birds, like bird things, but they were larger than birds. And one dropped, and it was called a Raptorian, I think. It was essentially a bird man or lady. It was just a bird creature person. And they said, have you been sent from the king? And we said, yeah. And he said, oh, you're 8 years late. There was a treaty signed or something 8 years ago. And we required aid, so we bluffed it and said, we are the aid. What trouble are you having? So we went to speak to their chief, their advisor, and it turned out to be this blind old bird man, and he was in a cave, and he lived on side of cliffs and stuff. And he led us up there, and he was saying, we've been having trouble with these kobolds, these like lizardy creatures, kobolds or kobolds, I'm not sure how you say it, kobolds I think they are. And they've been in this tower, and they're causing all sorts of trouble, and they keep attacking us and whatnot. So we said, okay, we'll sort it out. But on the way, they said, you can go to the shrines and pray to a god. So there was like a door for each god, and I'm sorry. There was a door for each god, but it was like, it wasn't named or anything, it was just a symbol. So it was like, there was the sun, there was nature, there was daggers, there was a spear, there was skulls, there was stuff like that. So Mike went in first, and he went into the sun one, and he went in there. So then it was me, Alex and Sean, and Alex and Sean went to a branch, I think it was, and they went in there, and I then, because I was alone, I decided, it's unexpected, I went, I'll go into the skull one, so I went to the skull. So Mike was speaking to his god, and they made an offering of 50 gold or something. And it turned out it was like a sun sort of god. And they said, what can I give you? And Mike asked for protection for his party, us, and a blessing. So he got a blessing. So in daylight, when the sun is shining on him, he's strengthened by the sun. So he gets like a bonus to his attacks or whatever, or defense. Which is cool. Alex and Sean went into the nature garden. Turns out there was like a tree, this hollow tree, and they made an offering of gold, and they asked for blessings too. But Alex asked for, because Mike was cheeky to him beforehand, or because he didn't come with us to the brothel, he said, I want you to cause a mishap on Mike's part at a random time. Don't want to know what it is, but some sort of incident that will delay him or do something to him. So that, and we don't know when that's going to happen. Then I went into the school one, and it was a pitch black room, and it was a fountain. Mike's room, sorry, was like a sun. I think it was like bright lights or lights and candles. I'm not really sure, I'm afraid. I can't really remember. But I went to my room. It was pitch black apart from a bowl, or a plinth, like a little scythe sickle, and a skull. So Joe being the DM was like, "What are you gonna do?" And I think the room's designed for like Alex or something like that. I'm not really sure, but I went in and I sliced my hand and put it on the skull, and everyone was like, "What the hell?" But obviously the characters didn't know. But Joe was like, "Oh shit!" And so then the god of death like appeared, Nairul, and he said, what do you want? You are not one of my servants. I said, I wish to join you. And everyone was like, oh, damn. And then he said, what can you offer me? So I said, I renounced my old god and threw away the amulet I got with my old god. And said, oh, he grabbed it and he took it and he said, this is a mighty offering because, I've renounced my god for him and given this magical creature item, which was actually given off the gnome god. It turned out that thing was the gnome god. Gal, I think it was. Gal. And so, he said, what can I do for you? And I said, I want you to kill a king. And he said, when an opportunity arises, I will take his life. You're my servant, all that stuff. And so then, that was it then. That was the second session. But then today, we've just had session 3, which was, oh no, sorry. And we got to the tower and we fought the first kobolds and killed them. Sean threw a sling. We were fighting them, and Mike and Alex were doing damage to the 2 kobolds. And Sean killed the first one by launching this sling. He's got this sling that can fire miles. And he threw it, and it went through the skull and killed it. And then I did the same with my crossbow against the second kobold. So then that was the end of session 2, because we ran out of time. Then today we were heading up the tower, so we ended up in a big skirmish between the kobolds. There was a mage and 4 kobolds, and we were fighting them for a while. We were on a staircase, so I put my crossbow down. Sean was throwing, he kept dropping his sling. Mike was trying to shoot but kept missing, but then ended up charging up with his rapier, and Mike was killing things. He popped one with lightning. Alex charged straight away, and he got into a big fight with this one kobold for a while, and then cleaved it in 2. And then we ended up killing like the last 2. We killed the first 2 like that, and then it took a while. And then the last 2 we killed it quick. No, one ran away, and then the other one we just killed. Oh no, the one tried to run away, and then I killed it, and then the others killed the other one. And the shaman we just beat to death. Then we got to the top floor, and there was a portal, and kobolds went through the portal with an egg, and came back out with an egg. But there was loads, and there was about 12, 14, something like that. And so, me and Mike could speak their language, and we could understand them. So I went up, and I said, wait, we were here to speak. So he took me and Mike deeper into the room and surrounded us and stuff, and he took our weapons, begrudgingly. He knocked Mike to his knees and didn't want to, but I said, just trust me. And so, it did have kobolds hate gnomes as well, because the gods don't agree, so he didn't like me at all, and I was doing my cheeky thing, and he didn't like it. And so, but we ended up convincing him, saying we're here on the King's orders. We don't know why we're here. We're just here to check it out, and we're here to help if we can. And he said, oh, we're under the King's orders. So you can help us by taking this egg and placing it in the Raptorian's home. And we're like, what does the egg do? And he said, oh, we can't say. All we knew is our job's done. Will you help us? We said, yeah, we agreed. And then, it was long-winded, but I'm summarising it. Excuse me, now I get a cup of tea again. And so we went. So then everyone had a bit of discussion. We were not sure what to do. Alex wanted to just leave the egg, just leave it, because we figured out it was a dragon egg. Sean figured out he could hear a dragon egg, and it was gonna hatch soon. So there's that. Mike wanted to just take it to the Raptorians, but then tell the Raptorians about it. I wanted to just leave it outside or leave it in there and just let it hatch and then see if we could speak to it, because we could speak dragon. Sean wanted to just take it back to the Raptorians but then go from there. I'm not sure what he wants to do. So Alex and Mike disagreed, and they kept disagreeing, so they drew swords. So then Sean stopped the situation. He convinced them, like, don't fight. So then we headed back, and I was torn. I was sitting there thinking this would be a good opportunity. I could offer this dragon and give a snuck off to Nehru, but it was just finding a way of sneaking off. But I could tell Mike didn't trust my character. He was unsure because I was, being a bit just because I was in a room, I think. But he was unsure of my character because he doesn't know him and I don't know his. We're all unsure of each other's characters because we don't really know each other's characters that well. And so we get back to the town and we rest at the camp, and I decided, no, I'm not going to sacrifice it, offer it up. So I'm just going to have a cup of tea. Just bear with me 1 second. Delicious. By the way, customised mug my missus made. Pretty cool. But anywho, sorry. So we get back to the Raptorian place, and me, Mike, and Alex down, and they say to Sean, "Go speak to Sean's monkey performs." Sean's got a monkey, Abu, I think it was, Abu. And he was performed. So Sean went to speak to the elder to say, we decided, let's tell the elder, we'll keep all the egg, but we'll tell the elder, the blind man. And so he tells the elder, and then the elder's like freaking out, saying, "There's a dragon egg here. Where is it?" And Sean's gone, "Oh, I don't know. It's with the others, I think." So he says, "Go get it quick." So he gets Mike. Mike goes, but he says, but before that, he tells Sean, you can get rid of it by a ceremony, or destroying it. So Mike goes up and speaks to him, and he's trying, but the only way he could kill this egg, because it's a water dragon, it turned out it was a dark dragon, which is sort of like water. It's like element is water, so lightning is the counter. So Mike was thinking about trying to kill it with the sword, but he only had one chance, and if he smashed it and missed, and he needed to get a high roll, it would have awakened, and then we would have been fighting this young dragon, Wyram. And so we decided against it. So Sean went to take the egg with Alex to the shrine, and Mike was still talking to the elder and learning more about the dragon. And I was asleep at the campsite, like with the town people, the Raptorians. So Mike was still talking to the elder. So Mike's like, Mike's over here, and then I'm in the middle, and then Alex and Sean headed to the shrines. Mike then discovered that some gods don't accept the eggs. Like all gifts of that nature, it might offend the gods and it might cause more trouble. So Mike decided to sprint. He sprang, like, I don't know, as you run, he woke me up. So I went with him. I was still kind of scheming, thinking, should I take the egg or not? So we were all sitting there not arguing, but we were saying, like, whose god should we give it to, and we were unsure what to do. And I said, I'll hold the egg. No, I'll hold the egg whilst you go and speak to your god and see if he'll take it. So Sean was a bit hesitant. He said no, but Alex said, yeah, go on. He gave it to me. And Mike kept watching me because he was unsure. Because I think we were all worried about the egg, but he was unsure. But then Mike was thinking, because they don't know about my god Nerul, they still believe I worship the gnome god. So he was worried about that because the gnome god's a trickster. So, Sean was talking to his god, and he was asking like the wrong questions. He was saying, like, sacrifice or whatever and stuff, and the god was like, what? So Alex went in to try to sort it out, and they were trying to offer the god the egg, but in a way that it wouldn't seem like a sacrifice or anything like that. But they kept, like, the god was very hesitant. So Mike ended up shouting through, and he said the right thing. Ended up he'd take it. So I decided, no, I'm not going to give it to Ariel. I'll let them take it. I passed it on without any incident to them. So then they gave it to the god and absorbed it. And then we went out, we left. And Mike was like, why did you want the egg so badly? And then I bluffed, not like that, but he was worried about me, but then I bluffed saying, I was a bit hesitant because I had to meet my god in secret and stuff. And he said, okay, and he believed me, because, roles. And so everyone was fine with each other. Then we went back to camp. Mike went to speak to the elder. And then he said, thank you very much, I'll help. You can stay the night and we'll reward you if we can. Excuse me. And so then we all went to bed and stuff. Sean locked his door because he didn't want to repeat it the previous night. Alex did the same. He moved a cupboard in front of his door. And then I just chilled, and so did Mike. And then that was where that quest ended. And so yeah, that's session 2 of D&D, and look forward to telling you about the next one. It'll be sooner rather than the gap between the last two. But yeah, it's really good, really enjoying it. And sorry about the video quality. I'm just doing it through a poorly lit room and poorly lit phone. So love you and leave you. Bye bye.